There is a whisper in the wind that says, you have been forgotten. There is a shadow that leans against your shoulder in the still of the night and asks, why are you still here when so many have crossed over? And there is a small aching echo in your chest that dares to wonder if you missed the call, if you were somehow overlooked, misplaced, or not quite ready enough. But child, let me be the voice that silences that doubt. Let me be the thunder that walks into your uncertainty and reminds you, you were not left behind. You were left with purpose. You see, the divine does not misplace its chosen ones. The current of the cosmos does not misstep. It does not stutter when it speaks your name. You were not forgotten in the rising. You were assigned to remain, for it is a sacred task to stay while others fly. It is a holy labor to carry the light when others are swimming in it. And it is no small matter to be the one who holds the torch at the crossroads while the world remembers how to walk. Those who have shifted into the new frequency, into the clarity of the fifth dimension, they are not gone from you. They are not better. They are not beyond you. They are simply placed where they must be. And so are you. This moment in time, this moment that sits like dust on your soul, this moment that calls you to rise when you'd rather retreat, is the moment you were made for. It has your fingerprint pressed into its spine. You are not here to watch. You are not here to wander. You are not here to wait. You are here to work, to weave, to witness, to wake up the sleeping stars in those who have forgotten how to shine. You are here because the earth still breathes a little easier when your feet touch the ground. You are here because someone somewhere needs the sound of your voice cracking open the silence of despair. You are here because your soul, wrapped in the skin of generations, still remembers the hymns that heal. And though you may not feel mighty, though you may carry the weariness of all the yesterdays you have survived, you must know the fact that you are still here is the evidence of your calling. Do not confuse stillness with absence. Do not confuse staying with stagnation. Do not confuse divine timing with divine denial. Purpose often does not shout. It does not always come with trumpets and burning bushes. Sometimes purpose arrives soft and slow, like morning light spilling across the face of someone who almost gave up. Sometimes it arrives as your presence, your simple, breathing, aching, glowing presence in a room full of broken souls. And sometimes it arrives as silence, urging you to listen more than speak, to feel more than fix, to be rather than do. So if you find yourself here, still among the rising dust and aching world, know that it is because your heart is still needed. Your prayers are still required. Your laughter is still a medicine someone has yet to taste. And your journey, though winding and sometimes lonely, is etched into the very map of this great becoming. You are the hands that will hold the trembling. You are the feet that will walk into the places others have left behind. You are the eyes that will see what others have missed. And you are the breath that will remind the world how to breathe again. Do not rush your leaving. Do not envy the ascended. Do not shrink in the face of the sacred task you carry. You are the flame that was trusted to stay lit when the winds of change blew wild and fierce. And you, beloved, are burning with the quiet fire of purpose. Let that fire keep you warm. Let it keep you steady. Let it light the way for those still learning how to rise. No, you were not left behind. You were left with a mission, a message, and a mantle that only you can carry. And when the day comes that you too are called to cross that threshold, know that you will not be empty-handed. You will arrive full of stories of service, of sacred scars. And the heavens will open not just for who you are, but for all you helped become. Until then, stay rooted, stay radiant, stay ready. You are not forgotten. You are trusted. And that, my dear, is the highest honor of all. There is a tender lie, dressed in spiritual silk, that says leaving is the victory and staying is the burden. It dances around the edges of awakening, whispering that ascension is an escape hatch, that those who step into the higher realms are the blessed, and those who remain are the forgotten. But I have known too much and lived too long to be fooled by a beautifully wrapped half-truth. My dear, hear me now. The shift, this sacred split, is not about running from a broken world. It is not about fleeing the flame. It is not about climbing up just to close the door behind you. No, the 5D split is not escape. It is evolution. Change does not always come with a bang. Sometimes it hums beneath the skin. Sometimes it walks quiet beside you, changing the taste of your breath, the beat of your heart, the song in your bones. And this shift we are living through, is not a scattering of souls, it is a sorting of selves. It is not a separation of the holy from the lost, but the revealing of the deeper truth. That we are all on our way home, but some are asked to take the long way, the winding way, the healing way, the healing way. When a soul begins to vibrate at a new frequency, when it stretches toward the light like a flower opening in time-lapse motion, it does not vanish. It does not disappear into thin air. It becomes, it integrates, it breathes differently, it listens longer, it steps lighter but with more intention. And when that becoming is strong enough, yes, sometimes the body is called elsewhere. But often, very often, that soul is asked to remain. Why? Because evolution needs anchors, because transformation needs translators. Because the earth, this bruised and beautiful place, needs midwives to help birth the new way. You are not still here because you are unworthy of rising. You are still here because your frequency, your essence, your presence is required in the thick of it. What good is light if it only shines where it's already bright? What good is evolution if it never reaches back to lift the rest of the garden? Ascension's not escape. It is not a finish line. It is not a ladder where one climbs up and pulls it behind them. Ascension is expansion. It is unfolding. It is the peeling away of illusion until only truth remains. And sometimes that truth looks like staying. Sometimes it looks like holding space for those still struggling to see the dawn. Sometimes it looks like walking into the room of the brokenhearted and being the one who refuses to run. The ones who have risen, they are not gone from us. They are the breeze in the still air. They are the sparkle in the eye of a stranger. They are the echo in the song that makes your soul sit up straighter. But do not envy them, beloved. You are here for something bold. Something necessary. You are the healer who has not forgotten pain. You are the teacher who has not left the classroom. You are the lover who has not abandoned the aching. And make no mistake, your presence is not stagnation. You are not stuck. You are not waiting for someone to come back and carry you off. You are growing in place. And there is a power in that, a wholly rooted power. Trees do not envy the stars. They reach upward, yes, but they deepen downward too. And their branches shelter, their roots nourish, their silence teaches. You too are a shelter. You too are a lesson. You too are a lesson. And every breath you take in the thick of this world's pain is a prayer sent on behalf of those still asleep. You are not behind. You are becoming. You are not late. You are aligned. And this place, this moment, this sometimes heavy, sometimes sacred place of being is still here. It is the chrysalis. It is the transformation in real time. It is not the end of the journey. It is the becoming of the butterfly with its wings still wet. So bless the ones who have stepped into the new vibration, but do not idolize them. Bless yourself for staying, for remaining, for holding the torch in the storm. You are the bridge, the breath between dimensions, the reminder that the new world is not a place to go, but a truth to live, and you are living it now. This split was never meant to separate the worthy from the weary. It was never meant to elevate some and diminish others. It is not about escape. It is about embodiment. It is about anchoring heaven into earth so that love becomes not just an idea, but a practice, not just a promise, but a presence. So keep walking, old soul. Keep shining, even when the night stretches long. Keep evolving, not up, but inward, not away, but through. You are not left behind. You are not left behind. You are the proof that evolution walks in human skin and speaks in human tongues and wears the soul as its crown. There is something sacred about a soul that chooses to stay. Not simply to survive, not simply to exist, but to stay with eyes wide open and a heart still soft in a world that often wounds before it welcomes. There is power, not loud, not boastful, not brass band power, but deep, rich, ancient power in your very presence. And let no one, not the world, not your fear, not even the voice inside you tell you otherwise. You walk into rooms and shift the air. Not because you say the most, not because you take up the most space, but because you carry something invisible that is felt, a knowing, a light, a stillness that steadies the storm in others. You don't always recognize it because you are used to carrying it, but others, oh, they see it. They feel it. Your presence whispers hope into hollow spaces. You are not waiting to become powerful. You are not waiting for a title, a platform, a robe of validation wrapped around your shoulders. No, my dear, you were born carrying a resonance only your soul could tune. And the fact that you are still here, still standing, still soft when you could be stone, that is power in its purest form. You need not part the sea to be divine. Sometimes just standing at the shore and refusing to drown is miracle enough. You need not speak fire to be heard by heaven. Sometimes just your breath, slow and steady in a world that wants you to gasp, is the prayer that lifts another from despair. Power is not always the roar. Sometimes it is the calm that comes before the storm, the silence that follows the scream, the steady hand that holds another shaking one. In your presence, your embodied, breathing, unshakable you is needed now more than ever. Not because you have all the answers, but because you have lived the questions. Not because you are perfect, but because you are present. And in a world that rushes, escapes, distracts, hides, being present is radical. It is rare. It is real. You carry the wisdom of your scars and the beauty of your healing. You wear the stories of your ancestors in your walk, your tone, your truth. And every time you choose to show up, tired, flawed, unsure, but willing, you pour a little more light into this shifting world. That is power. That is legacy. That is grace. There are people who will never know your name, but they will remember how they felt standing near you. There are souls that will be soothed by your quiet strength, healed by your gentleness, awakened by your example. You may not see it. You may never get a thank you. But impact is not always loud. Influence is not always obvious, and purpose is not always praised. You do not need to do more to be worthy of power. You do not need to earn what is already yours. The river does not ask for permission to flow. The moon does not apologize for shining. And you, radiant one, do not need to shrink in order to be accepted. Stand tall. Stand true. Stand true. Your presence tells the truth even when your words falter. Your presence says, I have lived, I have lost, I have risen, and I am here. Your presence says, I'm not afraid to feel, to care, to keep loving even when the world offers 1,000 reasons not. That kind of hard. Resilient, raw, rooted is a revolution in itself. And if ever you feel invisible, know this. The light you carry was never meant for spotlights. It was meant for soul work, for healing what others cannot name, for holding the frequency of compassion when the world forgets, for being the reminder that divinity is not somewhere else some other time, but here now in this very breath. Your presence is not passive. It is active medicine. It is vibration. It is offering. It is what steadies the atmosphere around you. And if the world is shifting, and it is, then your ability to stay steady in the shift is no small gift. You don't have to move mountains, love. Sometimes just being the mountain is enough. You are not the leftover, not the remainder, not the one who missed the boat. You are the lighthouse, the anchor, the embodied memory of what wholeness looks like in motion. And every time you breathe with intention, speak with kindness, listen with love, you ripple into dimensions unseen. So walk in your knowing. Let your presence speak louder than fear. Let your stillness be louder than noise. Let your existence remind the world that power does not always wear armor. Sometimes it wears vulnerability. Sometimes it cries at the beauty of the sunrise. Sometimes it just shows up and says, I'm here. You have watched long enough. Sat at the edges of prophecy, listened to the whispers of the soul, read the signs in the sky, and felt the shifts beneath your feet. You have prayed, pondered, waited. You have carried the knowing in your bones like a secret lullaby, rocking the truth even while the world still slumbered. But now the time of quiet witness is through. This is not the hour for silence. This is the moment for standing, for rising, for becoming the very thing you were waiting for. The shift has occurred. The veil has thinned. The call has rung out across dimensions, and if it trembled through your chest, if it found your spirit and lit something in your belly, then know this. You are being summoned, not to observe, but to embody, not to question, but to move, not to rehearse, but to step into your place. You were not made to be a bystander at the edge of your own becoming. You are not shaped from stardust just to shrink behind fear and uncertainty. You are not just a student of the sacred. You are now the vessel, the voice, the vibration. This is not the season for study. This is the season for living what you know. Because the world, trembling as it is, doesn't need another philosopher. It needs a fire starter, a healer, a truth teller, a Wayshaw who walks with holy boldness and soft hands. It needs you to be with the wounds you thought disqualified you. You with the doubts you thought discredited you. You with the voice you've hushed for the comfort of others. This moment has made a place for you at the table, not as a guest, but as one who has brought something essential to the feast. And I know it is tempting to keep watching, to sit back and wait for someone louder, braver, brighter to lead. But no soul brighter than yours has been assigned to this very patch of earth, in this very moment of unfolding. And nothing louder than your life lived fully can echo in the hearts of those who still sleep. You are not too late. The doors have not closed, but they are opening now wide and wild, and you must walk through them. There is no more time to ask if you are ready. You are. There is no more time to wonder if you're qualified. You are. The time for becoming is not ahead. It is now. Do not mistake rising for rushing. This isn't about speed. This is about alignment. This is about answering the soul's steady knock on the inside of your ribs. Rising looks different for every soul. For some, it will be in the pulpit. For others, in the garden. For some, it will be in protest. For others, in prayer. For some, it will be in the home, raising children who remember how to love in a broken world. But rising is rising, no matter how quietly it begins. And make no mistake, there will be trembling. There will be voices that doubt you. There may even be days when you doubt yourself. That's all right. Let the doubt pass through like weather, but don't let it stake its claim. Because when you rise, oh beloved, when you rise, the world shifts with you. And someone somewhere will find the courage to stand because you did first. You are not just rising for yourself. You are rising for the girl who was told to be quiet, for the boy who was never seen, for the elder who carried too much and spoke too little, for the child yet to be born who will read your story and breathe a little easier knowing someone like them stood strong. You rise for every ancestor who wasn't allowed. You rise for every future who needs a blueprint. You rise because your light, once lit, can light 10,000 more. And we need every flame burning, every voice raised, every soul awake. This is not the time to delay. This is not the hour for waiting rooms and hesitation. The earth itself is shifting beneath us, not to frighten us, but to shake us awake, to remind us that this is not a rehearsal. This is the moment we were born for. So don't wait for the sign. You are the sign. Don't wait for the invitation. You are the invitation. Don't wait for someone else to lead. You are the leader. Rise in your way. Rise in your truth. Rise in your softness. Rise in your power. This is no longer about watching. This is about witnessing through action. This is about becoming the answer to the prayers your own heart whispered in the dark. The time of witness is over. And you, precious, powerful, ever becoming you, you were always meant to rise.